The way that I am constantly singing, but not good, is like so comical to me. Sometimes I think I'm okay at singing and then I record myself while I'm testing this mic. And I'm like, that is embarrassing. I should do that less. But what is there to care about in a situation like that? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Some Of a Podcast. This is a show that was born from the idea that we always say someday we'll do X, Y, or Z. We just have to make our someday today. I always was saying someday I'll have a podcast because I just have a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, a lot of opinions, whether they're warranted or not. I have them. And just like you, I'm an average person. So I want this to be a conversation. So anything that you hear in this, drop a comment if you're listening on Spotify, YouTube, whatever. Or you can always DM me. My Instagram is linked in the show notes because I do want this to be a community, a conversation. Hopefully, if you're here, you find something valuable in this. So let's just jump right into today's episode where we talk about the new year. By the time you're hearing this, it's basically mid-January. I kind of want to talk about the way that our culture, the Western world, frames New Year's with our resolutions, with our changes, with our goals. The real start of the new year is really not until March, April. In the pagan calendar, it's typically March because that's when the new life starts to grow, starts to form. That's when the flowers start to bloom and the leaves start to grow back onto the trees. That is when the new year begins, at least with, in the United States where I'm located. I guess you can argue it depends on your corner of the world, and that is so true. But with the pagan calendar marks more of like March, springtime, the new year. And I love that. Not to say that I don't love a nice fresh start. January 1st, we make our goals. I make my goals. I have a lot of goals for the year, for the calendar year. But I think it's important that we talk about also resting. The rest of the world around us is still hibernating at this time. The leaves have not begun to grow yet on the trees. Animals haven't crawled out of their hibernation holes and caves. And if we tap in to our bodies, we are still in hibernation mode quite a bit. With the end of the holidays and moving into a new calendar year, our bodies we're still reacting to the cold in a lot of spaces in the Western world. We are still healing. We're still in this phase of getting ready for the rebirth. The rebirth doesn't actually happen until springtime. And so I think it's important that we honor rest. And yes, it's great to have a lot of goals and a lot of ambitions for the year. I think it's equally as important to ease into them. You probably hear this all the time that January 1st, the first 3 weeks of January, the gyms are packed, gym memberships spike. People have all these ideas to make an abrupt change. I want to get healthy. I want to be fit. I change my eating patterns, my eating habits. January 1st, it's the new year, a new me. And while those are great ambitions, there's nothing wrong with having goals and ambitions. Easing into something slowly is often more effective. For example, if you're goal is to become super fit and be conscious of the food that you're intaking, let that be one small step at a time. Instead of maybe going to the gym 5 days a week starting January 1st when you weren't going at all before, maybe start with 1 day a week or go a few times a week and start with very light exercises. If your goal is to save money, maybe try eating out one less time per week rather than cutting it out altogether right away. It takes time to build habits and to build routines. So pretending like it's going to be an immediate change on the first day of a new month of a quote unquote new year, it's a little bit silly in my opinion, in my experience, because habits take time to build. And that's why it's so easy for people to fall out of those habits, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the new year, because Our bodies aren't meant for that. Our systems aren't built for that. So if we can start slowly building these systems as the start of a new year, it can be more effective in the long run in making these changes that we want to see in ourselves, in our routines, whatever it may look like for you. In addition, the Western world adopted January as the beginning of the year because of Julius Caesar. We used to operate on a pagan calendar, or maybe not just pagan, any religion or any culture that is based off of the land. The natives, any indigenous tribe that was here before us, they didn't celebrate the new year on January 1st. That's an arbitrary number. We created that. A Roman leader created that. Someone who was thirsty for power created that. And of course, now our daily calendars revolve around this same timeline, and that is okay. This is not to say that the way that we do things is wrong or bad. I'm not here to frame things in that binary, but it is worth remembering our roots, our bodies, how they connect to the world around us, the lunar cycles. Why don't we do more about the lunar cycles? Why is it not prioritized in our Western world and culture and religions? The lunar cycles, the very things that our earth and our world, our natural world revolves around, we kind of just push to the wayside, which is a little bit funny because we are beings of the natural world. The material realm is far different than where we come from. Our bodies, our souls, they're part of the natural world. The moon, the lunar cycle, the moon controls the tides. That is something we learn in school, right? The moon also has an effect on the water inside of our bodies. Our bodies are 90% water? Our bodies are largely made up of water, of fluids. The menstrual cycles are often connected to the moon and to the natural cycles of the world around us as well. Our society is doing ourselves a disservice by not just tapping in a little more to the natural world, to the natural cycles of the seasons. Instead of saying New Year and celebrating the New Year as spring, the spring equinox, we're instead choosing to go with this random number that was chosen by a Roman leader because he wanted power and he wanted people to follow him. We need to question those things. We, especially right now, with everything being AI, things being difficult to see what is real, what is human made, what is made by artificial intelligence, it is important to question everything. And one of those things is, so why do we celebrate the new year on January 1st? And is that the most effective way to do it? This is not necessarily a call to action about changing all of your patterns, your job, your fiscal calendar, whatever. It's just a call to question, why do we do these things? Why are we also blindly following these things? And I'm sure there will be some criticism to these statements about, it's just how things are. You don't need to question things as simple as a calendar. But we kind of do. If you think back to any change that's been made in the world, again, I don't want to put things in the binary of good or bad, but say, for example, I don't know, the advent of electricity, the invention of the light bulb. If someone wasn't questioning, can we live better? Can we have more light? Why are we just stuck with our lamps and candles and fires? Then we wouldn't have half of the technology that we have today. Questioning things doesn't always have to be framed in a negative way. Questioning things can be a way to open up doors for opportunity, a better life, better options, things that work better for the society. And this is just a very small thing, questioning why we follow this calendar. And I'm doing a little bit of both. I have a lot of goals this year for the calendar year of 2026. I want to read 12 books. I want to hit a certain amount in my savings. I want to dive deeper into tarot and understanding that. I want to make some of my income streams more lucrative. I have a lot of goals for the 2026 calendar year, but in that, for one, I am easing into those goals. I am doing my best not to just jump into 12 new projects, reading every single day and also doing this thing for my side hustle and also doing this thing for my health and also doing this about tarot readings. No, I'm easing into this because that is how I build routines. And by the springtime, maybe I will have those routines and those habits. They'll have a basis, they'll have a foundation by that time that I'm really ready to blossom into that new year, into the new season. I'm setting the foundation right now because we are still in hibernation mode. Tap into your body. Why do you think that you're waking up so tired still? Well, the sun's not up at 5 a.m. when you are rising for work. And there might be small ways that you can shift your habits, your routines to be more in tune with those natural cycles. This will look different for everyone. We all have different jobs, different expectations, different family lives, different lifestyles. And therefore, just to say one blanket thing about how we need to tune into the natural cycles around us, it's not going to work for everyone. That's why I'm not giving you a specific guide on how to do it, because how I plan to do it is going to look vastly different than how you might be able to do that. But that's why I'm encouraging you to tap in. Just listen to your body. Spend a few moments. Here's a couple first actionable steps. Spend a few moments during your day, night, lunch break, whatever it might be, and just sit in silence. 1 minute. For 1 minute. That's all I can usually handle in an attemptive meditative state. Just listen to your body. What are you feeling? How do your muscles feel? Are you feeling tired? Is it easy for you to close your eyes? Is it difficult for you to close your eyes and relax your shoulders, relax your jaw? What do you hear? Are you hearing birds? Are you hearing squirrels? Is there any nature nearby? Do you have the opportunity to walk into nature? Can you, on your way home from work, take an extra 30 steps in walking up to your drive so that you're breathing in fresh air? What are these little changes and what does your body need to potentially tap into those natural cycles with the world that's around us, the elements? I know it's hard in the winter. Getting outside is a drag in the winter. I am the first person to understand that. But get in contact, get in touch with your body, with the cycles that are going on outside our windows. And then also question, what will work for me? Why am I following these patterns? Why do I have these patterns in the first place? Whether that's in relation to the calendar or your daily life, your daily routine. And start to set the foundation of how you could change things over time. It does not need to be the immediate switch. Some people may have already given up on your goals and your ambitions for the year by the time you're hearing this because it wasn't that strong start that you're looking for. And I'm here to tell you, to share that message that it is never too late to start or start over. And have peace with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. We are in this, it's still winter, okay? Nothing is new and fresh quite yet. So take a moment, deep breaths, be gentle with yourself. Don't be so harsh. You are capable. Whatever you want to make happen, you will make happen. You just need to get in tune with your body and with the world around you. It's honestly simpler than it may seem. So, if you are new here, at the end of the episode, I like to give a song recommendation for something that I've been listening to on repeat based on the playlist that shows me what I've been listening to on repeat on Spotify. I think I'm really shifting into that EDM, high energy dance music space again in preparation for the Groove Cruise that I'll be going on in a couple of weeks. I'm listening to a lot of high energy music. And so the song I'll recommend to you today is Unfollow Me Slowly by Lion. It's kind of like a breakup song, But the beat is amazing, fun to dance to, and yeah, just something that you might want to listen to on your way to work to get you kind of pumped up for the day. That is Unfollow Me Slowly by Lion, and it will also be linked with this episode. I truly believe that if you were brought to this episode, there was something in here for you. And so I hope that you have that same feeling. I hope that you got something out of this, even if it's just a challenge to think a new way. I appreciate you for being here and for your listenership. Word of mouth goes a long way, so share this podcast with your friends, with your family, and rate and review on all of the apps, the streaming services, if you are enjoying it. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to make your someday today. Bye.